Hello everyone. Welcome back to another tutorial episode. Today I will explain to you how you can make timelines, buttons and more. Stick along to the end so you don't miss any important details. With that being said, let's start with the tutorial. Timelines of a map can be very confusing when you first learn them. I am going to try my best to explain them to you. I have created a new and updated timeline toolbox, link in the description. When you're working, you can just place it down. You can click on it at any time when you need it. An X-frame is an object value that runs when it's inside in a timeline configuration. In the value and the attributes you tell the game what to do in a certain way. Every X-frame has 3 standard attributes. These are, X-frame _ timestamp, number, is to tell the game when to run the X-frame, this is in seconds. For example, if you want the X-frame to run at 1 minute and 36 seconds, it should be 96. X-frame _ length is how long it takes for the X-frame to finish. For example, when you are moving a part, how long it takes to move. X-frame _ function. String is the function the X-frame has. This can be SetWaterState, SetProperties, SetHumanoid, Teleport, SetCamera, ShakeCamera and Alert. I will explain them one by one. I have created a little swimming pool to demonstrate it. I will change the water state to lava at 5 seconds. I am going to grab the timeline toolbox, go to X-frames and then copy the SetWaterState X-frame. I will paste it into the flood timeline configuration. The value should be the part that is affected by this X-frame, so I select the water part. Then in the state attribute, you type the state, so water, acid or lava. In this case I will set it to lava. The length doesn't matter in a SetWaterState X-frame, then set the timestamp you want it to happen. In this case I want it to happen at 5 seconds. There are 2 more attributes / settings that you can customize. Don't change color. Boolean. If this is turned on, the color of the water will stay the same. Specified color. Color 3. The color of the water will be changed to this color when the X-frame runs. If you want to add an attribute, click on the X-frame and then click the plus here. Then insert the name. In this case I will change the specified color. Don't forget that FE2 is case sensitive, so don't forget the capital letters. This is a color 3 attribute, so I will press color 3. Then I will customize the attribute. I can set the color right here. Just to show you, I will also add the don't change color attribute. But I will turn it off. The SetProperties X-frame is by far the most useful X-frame function. This X-frame allows you to set any property of a part, for example the size, position, color, transparency and so much more. I will put the X-frames in numerical order. To set a property, put the affected part as the value. In this case, I want to make the wall of the swimming pool half transparent and walk through. To set a property, add an attribute and call it property _ and then type the property name. In this case I will change the transparency of the part to 0.6. Make sure the type matches with the property you want to change. Here's a list of what type the properties are. In here type the value you want to set the property to. I'm also going to turn off the can collide so you can walk through the part. With SetProperties you can move parts. You will also use this for lava rising. This works by setting the origin property, which is basically the position of the part. When using SetProperties, there is an attribute you can use. This is the operator attribute, string. You can put these symbols in it. If you put A+ for example, it will add the selected properties instead of setting it. I am going to make the first platform move out of the ground at the start. I do this by grouping the parts that are going to be moved together. I give it a name and I prefer to put it into the geometry folder outside of the gameplay folder. I will move the model down by exactly 8 studs. Then I will get the move part X frame. In the property_origin attribute I will put in how many studs I want the part to move. I want it to move up, so I will type it in the middle, because that is the Y value. I want it to raise 8 studs. I want it to move 8 studs over the span of 1 second, so the length is 1. I want it to happen at 1 second. Then set the value of the X frame to the model. You can select the model inside the Explorer. To make the moving more smooth, you can use tweening. Just create an attribute called tween_easing style and tween_easing direction, then you can see a video here what they all are. Choose one of them both and type them in. Don't forget the capital letters. First grab the sound object folder and put it inside your map model. Then find a sound ID of a sound you want to play. I am using Quaranti_dev sound kit, link in the description. Once you found an ID, copy the ID or this link and paste it into the sound model inside the sound object folder. Then grab the sound X frame. Put the value as the sound model. Then give the sound a name. You can put the length to 0, if you want the sound coming from a specific object. I call that part the sound part and then group the sound into the part. If needed, you can adjust the settings inside the sound model. The Alert X frame allows you to send alerts like this one. This one is pretty simple, the value should be empty, then in the attributes you can change the message, duration, and color and timestamp. ShakeCamera is pretty simple, just get the X frame, change the intensity and other stuff. Button timelines are very easy. I will first show you the legacy button functions. These are appear, fade and fall. If you look in the attributes what they do, you might already understand them. Appear makes invisible parts appear, fade makes visible parts invisible, fall makes parts fall out of the world. Choose one and put them into the legacy trigger_button config. Put the value as the part. If you selected a model, make sure to turn on X_frame_apply to descendants. This will make this X frame apply to all parts inside the model, so make sure everything is ungrouped in that model. So there are no models inside the interactive model. I choose to make these parts fall out of the world. If you want to use other timelines than the legacy ones, you just put the X frames inside the button_timeline config. I am going to use a sound when the part falls. I will be once again using the Quaranti_dev sound kit. When the X frames are in button timelines, set the timestamp to 0. If you want to add a delay, click on the button timeline configuration and insert the amount of seconds here. Also do this with the legacy trigger. With the knowledge you have gained, you can now also create the other button timelines. Before making the flood rise, you have to fix the variance to be the same length of gameplay. You need to use the SetProperties move part, X-frame to make the lava go up, set the value to the water part, then in here type how much you want the lava to rise in studs. This requires a lot of testing to get it perfect, so keep updating the model to FE2 cm and playtest it. You can test how high it will go if you enter a certain amount of studs. I recommend you to make a recording of the entire playthrough of the map to look back at the timestamps. I forgot to say. In the template you can see only one button timeline. If you want to get a timeline config for other buttons, duplicate it and rename it, then remove everything that is inside and go into the attributes and set the trigger underscore button to the right button number. The same goes with interactive folders and sounds. After playing around with the flood timelines, I got this. Remember, the lava pacing is a huge factor for the map star rating. I recommend to keep the pacing consistent. The timelines that aren't mentioned in this video will be explained in the advanced map tutorial that is coming. You have made it to the end of this video. I hope you now know how timelines work. If you have any question, you can always ask them in the comment section or DM me on Discord. Discord server link will be in the description. You can also ask your questions in the Crazy Blocks Games Discord server in the map making channel. My Discord username is this. You can DM me for help. For now, I'll see you later.